What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Yankees dropped game 3 of a 3-game set versus the Boston Red Sox. The final game of the 12-game gauntlet, as we like to call it. So the Yankees they finished that 12-game stretch 7-5, which I'll be honest is not terrible. It's not the greatest, but it's not terrible. It's better than 6-6, right? It's better than being under 500. In a tough game, in a game that I feel like the Yankees, we could have won this one, man. We actually hit Garrett Crochet. Judge came up big today. A lot of things went the Yankees' way. Caballero with a freaking moonshot. I didn't even know that dude could hit the ball like that. Ahmed Rosario with a 2-run blast. But at the end of the day, man, when your starting pitcher gives up 6 runs in the first inning versus Garrett Crochet, is going to be tough to win that game. Look, Will Warren, I'll say this, man. I mean, let's just cut straight to the chase, man. Is this guy in your playoff rotation? Is Will Warren in the rotation in the playoffs? And right now, I have to say he's not. He has not shown me that he can. He has not shown me that he can pitch in the big game, right? Today, obviously, was one of those bigger games, and he's shown this over and over. He did it versus Toronto, gave up 7 runs in the first inning, I think, over there. Then the same thing with LA, did the same thing. So this is not a one-off thing, and I get it. It's a learning experience, but this has happened multiple times with him. I'm not saying he's a terrible pitcher. I'm just saying that I don't think he's ready for the big time, man. For the big games that's coming up in a few weeks when the postseason starts. So right now, currently, I do not have him in my rotation. I'm going Fried. If it's a 4-man rotation, I'm going Fried, Rodon, Luis Gil, Cam Schlittler. And if I need a 5th guy, I'm even considering Yarbrough over Will Warren at this point. I think that he could show us something out of the bullpen, perhaps. Who knows? Right now, my dog she just pooped over there, so it's stinking really bad in here. So let me open the door for her now. Which means I'm going to have to take a break here in a few minutes to clean that. Damn, Roxy, terrible timing, right? Terrible timing. She took a crap just like Will Warren did this first inning. Yeah, but after that, he looked great. But, you can't negate that first inning. It's hard to say, well, after that, he was really good. Yeah, you gave up 6 runs in the first. We can't just ignore that. Got to take the dog out more. I know it's the shit when I take her outside, Nando, she don't poop out there for some reason. She don't like it. She likes coming in here and pooping on the wee pad. So, we're working on it. We'll get there. Yeah, so Will Warren, let me pull this up here. Will Warren went 5 innings, gave up 10 hits. My goodness. 6 earned runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. And that freaking laser beam home run by Navarez. Look, on the bright side, though, the bullpen looked good. Doval actually came in, and for a second there, he looked like he was about to be wild, but he was able to get it together, and he pitched a clean inning, gave us an inning, 2 strikeouts, which is huge, man, because we need that dude to be good. Mark Leiter Jr., same thing. He gave us an inning, gave up 1 hit. And then Blackburn, I know a lot of people probably surprised when they bring in Blackburn. Blackburn is actually not terrible, man. He's not that bad. The dude's a warrior, right? His ERA is 6.88, but a lot of that was in his first start versus his first start as a Yankee, which was ironically versus the Boston Red Sox. So, it is what it is. What are you gonna do? At least we won the series. But I feel like it's a game we could have won if our starting pitcher didn't give up 6 runs in the first inning. I feel like we take this game. That's a real. The fact that the Yankees fought back the way they did is a plus in my book. Going up against Garrett Crochet and your starting pitcher gives up 6 runs in the first inning, it's tough. Now I will say this, right? That triple to lead off the game. Duran hits a triple. That play at left field with Giancarlo Stanton, that's a play you got to make. Obviously, Giancarlo Stanton is not the greatest defender, and in most scenarios, he won't even be out there if Judge wasn't hurt. Me personally, I was contemplating, and I said this even before, like before the series started, because when Boone was on John Boy on Talking Yanks podcast, he said that they had Giancarlo Stanton in left field. And to me, I understand why, because there's less room out there to run around. But I feel like left field, especially in Fenway Park, is a lot tougher to play than right field. I'm assuming that they just didn't want him, running as much as he would if he played right field in Fenway. So, but that's a play you got to make. I feel like even if Dominguez was out there, Dominguez makes that play. He misplayed the ball and it even hit the wall. It just kind of landed like 4 feet behind him for some reason. So yeah, that's a play you gotta make. Austin Slater, why he let off, it's beyond me. I really have no idea. I don't know why Boone keeps putting him to lead off. I have no idea why. I really try to figure it out, like try to put myself in Boone's head and figure out why is Austin Slater leading off. I don't mind him starting, but why is he leading off? Just like what, the second, third time they've done this, every time they put him up there to lead off, he's gone 0 for 4, 0 for 5 with multiple strikeouts. And today was no different, right? 3 strikeouts for him. Let me put on my background music real quick. 3 strikeouts for him. Oh, I don't have my background music here. Anyway, Judge, big night today, 2 for 4. Even though he at first he struggled those first 2 at bats, but then he kind of figured it out. A big home run versus Garrett Crochet. And then late in the 8th inning, it looked like he almost hit another one, but it was off the wall. Bellinger, 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts. Giancarlo Stanton, a single, 3 strikeouts. He did not look good. Ahmed Rosario with a huge 2-run home run versus Garrett Crochet. The dude's a lefty specialist, and he's showing us why they got him. I honestly, personally, I feel like he could do similar damage to righties too. I would start trying him out, at least maybe in a pinch hit situation or whatever it is, but he needs more at bats. I think every game he's played as a Yankee, he's gotten a hit. So you got to find a way to get him in there. Trent Grisham came in. That was a tough at bat there, man. Once he struck out, and like Jacob said in the chat, that was the ball game right there. Paul Goldschmidt 1 for 3. He had a big hit. Jazz Chisholm could not get anything done. And then Caballero with the freaking bomb he hit that ball out the stadium. I mean, at this point, he is your shortstop. I don't care I get it. Maybe they get Volpe in there to give him a start, but if they go back to Volpe being the starting shortstop, I mean, at that point, it's ridiculous, right? The dude, I've seen enough. I have seen enough of Caballero to know that that's the guy I want starting. If you're really serious about winning, he's the guy you have starting. Every game, he's done something to help the team so far, right? Every single game. I can't say that about Volpe at all. And then Ben Rice 1 for 3. And that's pretty much all she wrote right there. It's a tough game, tough loss. I was looking forward to the sweep. A win like that versus Garrett Crochet would have been huge. The fact that we hit him the way we did was big time, I think, for the Yankees. But at the end of the day, you need more from Will Warren. We look, the kid has all the talent in the world. We know that. But for some reason, we've seen it all year. There's times where he just can't get out that first inning. It's been happening all year. This is an all-year thing, especially in big games versus tougher lineups. He just can't figure it out. So to me personally, he's out of my playoff rotation. I mean, I don't know how you put him in there at this point. But let me go ahead and say what's up to the chat. As a matter of fact, hold on. Give me a sec. I'm going to play these ads real quick. I'm going to clean this poop because it's starting to smell pretty bad. And I'll be right back.
Bullpen meatballs. Serving them up all 2025 season.
You better like the video, and while you're at it, subscribe to my friend Jason's channel.
The reason your butt has been hurting is because you have YDS, Yankees Derangement Syndrome.
Hey y'all, don't forget, channel members can bring up live player stats.
Appreciate y'all, man. Sorry about that. All right, let's say what's up to the chat. My man Ace in the building says cheer. What's up, Katie? Ace says Will Warren shouldn't start for us in the playoffs. I agree 100%. No way he started. Oh, I see the Mets won finally. Toronto won too, 11-2. That puts us what, 4 games behind them? So not what you want. Not what you want. I mean, at this point, technically 5 games. At this point, look, with 13 games left, 5 games back, I mean, is it safe to say is probably most likely we're not taking the AL East, right? I think we ran out of time, pretty much. Katie says, what's up? What's up, Katie? Brandon Lee, 4.5 games out now. Jays are gonna win the East. No, man, we're 5 out, man. We're 4 technically in the standings, 5 because of the tiebreaker. I mean, to make up 5 games in 13, to make up 5 games in the wins column in 13 games left is gonna be tough. I don't think the Yankees can do it. I don't think they can. Roy, what's up, Roy? Kind of sucked, but we hit off the ace. Yeah, we did. I mean, it was something at least, but look, man, this is a game we could have really gotten a sweep here. It sucks, man, because if it ain't one thing, it's the other with this team. Will Warren really disappointed me. Like, we didn't even need much. We just needed him not to give up 6 runs in the first inning. If he would have gave up 3 in the first, we would have been good. Even then, I would have been a little upset, but man, and it's really tough. The same thing happened versus the Blue Jays. I don't know if you remember. He had gave up like 7 runs in the first inning or something crazy like that in the first one. The Yankees actually fought back, and we actually tied it like 8-8 or 9-9 or something like that. And then they went ahead and scored even more runs and won that game. But it's tough to climb yourself out of a hole like that. Any offense, when you're going up against what might be the Cy Young Award winner for the American League, you're going up against Garrett Crochet, and your starting pitcher gives up 6 in the first inning. Not a good look, man. Not a good look. On national television, too. It seems like every time he plays in the big game, right? Because this was national coverage. This is on ESPN, Sunday night baseball. I mean, he shits the bed. It's not the first time. It's happened several times already. Lou says, we did very well these last 12 games. Yeah, we did good. I feel like we could have done better. I mean, look at it. When you think about it, really, right? So these last 12 games, the Yankees were 7-5, right? Look at that Houston series, that game we lost in Houston, right? When they brought in Devin Williams for whatever reason, I'm not sure. And he blew that game, right? So let's say that doesn't happen. I mean, we could have easily taken like 10 of these games. The first 2 games versus Detroit were just awful.
You're the real MVP.
As well. Ace, appreciate you, man, with the 2. Yes, is Judge the MVP? I mean, does a fat boy like cake? Of course he's the MVP, man. He's the MVP, man. I don't care what they say about Kyle Riley. Look, the numbers do not lie. He has 2 stats that are better than Judge, and not by much. Home runs and RBIs. That's all. Roxy's she's not being good today. I don't know what's wrong with her. But yeah, Judge is definitely the MVP. Anybody who says otherwise is they're just, I don't know what, man. I don't care what they say. Well, he's a catcher, and I don't care. It's not enough to me. You know, you got to look at stats and everything to be like, most people are gonna say, but look what he's doing, and he's doing that at the catcher position as a catcher. I'm like, so what, man? You know, is he not a baseball player like everybody else? I get it. He has other things to focus on. But when you're Aaron Judge and you're the captain of the New York Yankees and you're the freaking, if the second biggest star in all of baseball behind Shohei Ohtani, you think that's not a lot? You think there's not a lot of stuff that he got to worry about too and deal with, right? Coming into the game, out of the game, the interviews. Not too many people interviewing Kyle Riley like they're going to Judge. So I Judge is MVP, man. The numbers, somebody pull up the numbers. It's not even close, really. When you look at all the numbers and even the advanced metrics, when you look at like the just everything, man, it's just Judge is ahead of him on everything, and everything he's not, he's right there with him. So to me, Judge is the MVP. Gotta be. Nando says, gotta take the dough. Yeah, appreciate it. Sherry, what's up, Sherry? Yep. Warren has done this a few times this year. Yeah, that's why I say he cannot be your starting thing. He cannot be your he cannot be in the rotation in the postseason. Absolutely not. I kind of expected a loss, but I'm happy we got hits off him. Yeah, Roy. I mean, I me too. I kind of penciled this one in as you know, it's probably gonna be a loss, but you got to find a way to because look, you can't in a wild card series. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, right? It's looking like we're playing Boston for the wild card, right? If the season ended today, it'll be Yankees versus Boston in a 3-game set at Yankee Stadium for the wild card. And guess what? You're facing Garrett Crochet, so you can't pencil that in as a loss. You gotta find a way to beat him. And today we found a way to beat him. We actually hit this dude. Like, yeah, we struck out a ton of times. How many strikeouts? Probably what, like 16, 15, something like that. We struck out a lot, but we actually scored runs. And but yeah, you can't have your starting pitcher give up 6 runs, man. You just can't. It's deflating, man. Even me as a fan just watching, I was like, damn, dude, I get it. We got a whole 9 innings to try to catch up. But my goodness, dude. 6 runs. Like, I'm not gonna say I'm done with Will Warren, because I'm not. I still think he has a lot of potential and everything, but something with him in big spots is not there. He's not like a Cam Schlittler. Cam Schlittler, I see him in a big spot. I could tell that he's a dog, right? Will Warren, he's a puppy. I'm telling you, like, I see him as a pup out there. Like, he doesn't know what to do. He lets it get to him a little bit. And it happens, right? It happens, but it's happened to him quite too many times for me to trust him. Anyway, Commander Bradford, 7-5 is a very good result for the Yankees, even though I know you want the 8-4. Key for the Yankees to keep home field advantage for the wild card. Yeah, right now, that's what I'm saying, man. That is the main focus. But I tell you what, 7-5 is good, but it's not good when 3 of those games you should have won too. You know, you understand what I'm saying? Like, and I see it like that. You can see it as the glass half full, glass half empty, whatever it is. I still see certain things in this team that really, really bother me, you know? But hopefully, and look, I don't trust them. There's certain things I just don't trust. And we're gonna see. We're gonna see if the Yankees can figure it out, because they do have the talent. They have the people on that team to get it done. Will they? I don't know. And then the manager too. Sometimes he's iffy. He is very iffy to me. I'm talking about Boone. I can't trust Boone to make the right decisions as well. Luis Duran says, thank God the Mets finally won. I know, right? Gracias a Dios. It's a miracle. Brandon Lee, you have to make up 5 games and hope Toronto loses 5 more games than you in 13 games. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I said this yesterday too. I said this a couple days ago. Like, the likelihood of the Yankees catching the Blue Jays is very slim, and as each day goes by, it's getting slimmer and slimmer and slimmer, because the Blue Jays just don't lose. They're just not losing, you know. Everybody's like, well, the schedules and all that. And I'm like, yeah, but even the schedules are not that. The Blue Jays schedule is not that hard for me to feel like, okay, we have a legitimate shot, you know? Like for me to think that we could make up 5 games in 13, that we can make up 5 games with 13 games left. I mean, it's possible, yes, but I mean, at this point, it's highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. If it's me, I'm repositioning because at this point, we got to look at, right, who's scheduled to start when for the rest of the season and figure out rest and everything. So that way we can have all our ducks in a row for the wild card. That's what we need to do. Make sure that, our starters land where they need to land. I'm sure they will at the perfect time. So that way we can be set for the wild card. That's what we need to start looking forward to and start giving some dudes some rest if they need it. But even then, though, even with the wild card, my bad. I mean, we're not that much. So we got to make sure we take that top spot too, as well. So right now, let's looking at the AL wild card. I mean, we're only a game and a half above the Red Sox. So we gotta get that. Wow, Mariners took first place. That is incredible. The Mariners have come. At one point they had slumped so hard that they were almost out of a playoff spot, and they have fought their way back, and they are currently in first place of the AL West. So good for them. Good for them. Which puts the Astros right there. Let me take a look at this real quick. Yep. I mean, who would you rather face? The Red Sox or the Astros in the wild card? Right? Who would you rather face? I don't know. We'll see. Moving along. Michael Joyner, what's up? Should have started Yarbrough. Yeah, but currently he's not even in the rotation. But I think if I need a starter right now, if it's a playoff game and I need a starter and it's between Will Warren and Ryan Yarbrough, I go with Yarbrough. Yarbrough has been pretty solid all season long, with the exception of maybe one start or one long relief thing. But Will Warren, man, it's just, I get it. Look, for a rookie season, he's had an outstanding rookie season. 31 starts, I think. You got to give him credit. But the dude is just not it for big games. He's just not it. Just not it, man. Tony Lynn. Jays lost 5 out of 6 versus the Rays, and Jays have 7 games with them. So Jays will struggle versus Tampa again. So Yankees can still take the division. No, I'm not saying it's not impossible, but I'm telling you right now that the way the Blue Jays are playing right now, currently, they're in a different mode, man. You can't, if you look at Jays lost 5 out of 6 versus the Rays, but when, you know what I mean? This is a different team. Look at the Brewers. We destroyed the Brewers the opening series of the season. And look at them now. They're the best team in baseball. So I don't think the Rays are gonna they have 7 games. I don't see the Rays beating them that much. I'm sorry, maybe 3 games out of the 7. I don't see any way the Rays are gonna beat the Blue Jays 5 times in the next 7 games. I just don't, me personally. And if they do, though, even better. It'd be crazy if they do. The point is, the Yankees just got to keep winning. We can't afford to lose. Look, today we lost, right? Put us a game back, and we've been winning. But Blue Jays have been just winning as well. That's the whole thing. Yep. Yo, just passed Yogi and Joe D. Yeah, man, that was he passed Joe DiMaggio, on Saturday? Not even Saturday, Friday or something like that. What's up, Andrew? How's it going, man? Ken, what's up, Ken? We say Commander Brantford, big thing tonight is Seattle now leads the AL West. Houston falls to 3rd. Yeah, we just went over that, man. I'm a little behind you guys, so give me a break. Yankees for the win. My brother, yeah. You know what's crazy? The Yankees for the win had commented on yesterday's video late, and he said that pretty much he was vouching that for Dominguez to play over Stanton in today's game. And you know why he was right? Because I think if Dominguez and Dominguez is not the greatest defender, but I think he makes that catch in the first inning that ended up being a triple for Duran, which started off the big rally by these guys. But anyway, he says Stanton looks so good out there. This team is a joke, and what a fucking joke Slater is doing over Jason Dominguez. Yeah. What is minus for MVP? Judge will not win. Sorry. So you're saying Judge will not win? You know what? And I'll be honest, all the reporters, right? All the big time reporters who actually, some of them have votes in this stuff, like Ken Rosenthal and all these, they're all leaning Kyle Riley for some reason. And you know, it upsets me, right? And this is why it makes me upset, because they're all leaning Kyle Riley because they're like, oh my God, look at how many home runs he's hitting. And he's a catcher. Look how many home runs. But Judge does the same thing every year, right? Judge is hitting home runs every freaking year. 62 home runs. He and it's like, so what I'm trying to say is, they already expect it from Judge, is right? We expect it from Judge. Judge is having a phenomenal season. And it's like, yeah, well, I mean, he's supposed to, right? As Judge. But a guy like Kyle Riley comes out of nowhere doing what he does. It's like, whoa. You know, with Judge, it's kind of like we're used to it. It's like, yeah, well, you know, no big deal, right? And it shouldn't be like that. If he doesn't win MVP, it's a shame, man. Because I'll tell you this, right? Yankees for the win. If it was Ohtani going up against Kyle Riley, right? If those were the two, they choose an Ohtani every single time, no matter what. No matter what the numbers look like, they will pick Ohtani. And I mean, you could. I'm just keeping it real. The bias against Judge and the Yankees is serious, right? It's super serious. So I don't know, man. I hope not. I hope they don't do him like that, because they robbed him once. They rob him again. It'll be sad. Yeah, Michael Jordan need to play good tomorrow. Yep, we do. Who's pitching tomorrow? Who is pitching? Okay, so Carlos Rodon going up against Simon Woods Richardson. That's a long ass name right there. This is a game I totally expect the Yankees to win. We better win this game. We cannot lose these games versus Simon Woods Richardson. Those are games we can't lose. Not right now. So I expect us to win that. And we'll see. Donnie says, all rise, sir. Yes, sir. Luis Duran, I feel like MLB is going to snub Judge on MVP. Maybe. You know what, Duran? I'm telling you, I feel the same way, because all the beat writers are they're. I'm going to be honest, man. They're glazing Kyle Riley. And there's nothing against Kyle Riley. He's having a phenomenal season. Don't get me wrong. But if you look at the numbers, right? All the numbers, even the advanced metrics, besides RBIs and home runs, Judge is ahead of him on everything. You know, he's literally ahead of him on everything. The only thing Kyle Riley got on him is that they say, well, he's a catcher, right? Catchers are not supposed to do this. And it's like, okay, that don't mean nothing though, really. You know, I mean, I guess maybe, like, how do you quantify that though, really? How do you quantify that? Because they're like, well, he got to deal with pitchers and all that. And I'm like, yeah, but Judge is the biggest freaking star in the MLB outside of Ohtani. And he's got to deal with all that. You know, he's got to deal with all that media frenzy and everything. And the pressure of playing in New York and stuff like that. This dude's playing in Seattle. Ain't no pressure over there. You don't got a million reporters waiting for him at the freaking locker room, right? I don't know, man. Don't get me started with this, man. For real. Because if they rob Judge, I'm going to be upset. Warren needs to develop something more vertical, with more vertical movement. I mean, the thing is that there's no such thing as vertical movement, man. You know, there's such thing as more ride, like a pitch just kind of stays at the same plane, but every pitch is going down. You know what I mean? Every pitch is technically going down. It's impossible, man. Yeah, it may seem like it's going up, but I don't know. I watched something one time, and the science was like, it's no way. You know, there's nobody who could throw hard enough for the ball to actually go up like that. You know, like a frisbee or something. Yeah, we've hit him twice this year already. Warren pitchers have a lot of horizontal movement. Yeah, man. Jay Snow, man. I think what I'm trying to say, dude, is there's no such thing as vertical movement, man. I mean, unless somebody wants to prove me wrong, it may seem like it. Sometimes it seems like the ball is going up, like a rising fastball. You hear that? And it's really just that the ball stays on plane at more. But every pitch is kind of going down. You know, how much down? Some more than others, some more straight. But it's almost impossible for a pitcher to throw a ball and actually fly up this way. It doesn't work like that. It's not a frisbee. The science just doesn't matter. You would have to throw the ball like 200 miles an hour for it to do that or something. You know, yeah. It doesn't even do that off the bat. When dudes hit it off the bat like 120, it won't even do that. That's what I'm trying to say. But I see what you mean, though. All right. Who we got here? Jason Yanks just took series against Blue Jays, Red Sox, and took one from Detroit. We took one from Detroit. That was early in the season, man. So I wouldn't count that one, especially the way we lost those first two games to them. I wouldn't count it. But look, at the end of the day, come October, it's a whole different ball game, right? The thing with the problem I have with this comment, Donnie, is that we beat Detroit 1 game out of 3, and we didn't even face their best pitcher. You know, and that one game we took, that third game, was pretty much a punt. They threw an opener out there. They didn't even give us a starting pitcher. They just went with an opener. And I'm not saying that the Yankees can't beat them. I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying, you know, look, like this 12-game gauntlet, like, did the Yankees make a statement? Yes, but not the statement I was hoping for. The statement they made is like, yeah, we can beat these teams, right? But they didn't make a statement like they didn't punch them in the mouth, right? They didn't really punch any of these teams in the mouth like that and go for the knockout. Speaking of knockout, shout out to Terrence Crawford for beating Canelo Alvarez yesterday. And just, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the fight on Netflix. I don't know if you guys are into boxing. I know this is a whole nother topic, but man, what a masterclass. That dude, Terrence Crawford is he's probably one of the best fighters I've ever seen in my life. And I've been watching boxing for as long as I can remember. He's that good, man. And it's crazy because nobody even heard of the dude until a few years ago, right? But he's been killing it ever since. Nobody ever gave him a chance. But shout out to him going out, man. What is he, 50-0? He's the 3-time unified champion. He unified all the belts in 3 different weight classes. My man, he gained 20 pounds to fight Canelo and washed him. We talking about the best fighter in the world, the best super middleweight in the world, and Canelo Alvarez, and he washed him up. So shout out to him. I just wanted to put that out there. I know it's a random boxing comment, but what a fight, man. That was awesome. Thanos, I can't say your name, brother. I don't want to butcher it. Than Tao. I feel like I want to call you Thanos for some reason. Thanos. Anyway, Boone will put out a punt lineup for the first game of the wild card and have Devin close us out in a tie game. Don't say that, man. Don't put out that bad juju. That's bad juju right there, man. 13 likes, 46 viewers. Come on, we got to do better than that. Let's hit it out the park this stream, man. Let's try to... I don't even know what my record is, but it's definitely more than 14. Brandon Lee says, yes, Savage is starting for the Jays tomorrow. You're Savage. This dude's name is literally You're Savage. Let me see this. Because if his name is Savage, that'd be crazy. Nope. Hold on. What am I doing? Oh, it's not updating for some reason. I guess they haven't officially announced it. All right, whatever. Jason, would this be a different show if the Red Sox took the series? This would be a different show if the Red Sox... I mean, yeah. I mean, we saw that already too. We saw that how many times? They beat us, what, like 3 out of 4 series so far this season? Just saying. So, I mean, it was a good win, though. It's good to show them that we can beat them. But I wanted to really... to take out their best pitcher, too, and really kick them in the teeth. That would have been a statement right there. To sweep them at Fenway Park and beat their best pitchers. That would be a huge statement, especially going into a wild card matchup versus them. That would have been crazy. Custodio, we going 10-3 to finish the season? I mean, I hope so. I think we can, really, but I still don't think that may not even be enough to catch the Jays. It still may not be enough to catch the Jays. For us, if we would have to go 10-3 and the Jays would have to go like 5-7, you know, or something like that. Commander Brantford, he did the math, man. If he's still in here, he did the math and put it out there. Man, I'm so behind the chat. I'm sorry, guys, man. It's hard, like, to try to read every chat is very hard. I appreciate you guys, though. Yankees for the win. Yes, Stanton looks so good out. Oh, we saw that already. What am I doing? Frank Rivera. Dominguez went from 5-2 player to can't field, can't throw, can't hit right-handed to can't find him. Yeah. Ah, man. I don't think he's that bad, though, man. I think he needs more time. But yeah, you're right, though, man. He's supposed to be a 5-2 player. 5-2 players, they can field. They can do it all, right? It's tough. Kyle Riley's a 2-1 favorite. So I'm going to put my money on Judge then. I feel like when they look at the numbers, when you sit down and really look at the numbers, you're like, damn, how do you give this guy, you know, what are you going to say? You're going to vote him, Kyle Riley, the MVP, and then justify it by what? By saying, but he's a catcher? That's why you can't do that. The thing that gets me mad, too, is that, like, they do these votes, right? Like the Hall of Fame vote and everything. And there's no... Even like the umpires, right? There's no repercussion. There's no nothing, right? These guys could be biased. Maybe you know, you gave him a shitty interview one day, right? Maybe Judge gave him a shitty interview one day and they just holding a grudge against him. And that's why I don't think that the reporters, that these beat writers should be the ones voting this stuff. Look at like Derek Jeter, right? How one voter, like he wasn't unanimously voted into the Hall of Fame. Is beyond me, right? And then who was the one guy, right? Who was the one guy? You know, it's funny. They asked Derek Jeter one day, right? They were like, "What do you think? Like, what would you tell that one report, that one person that didn't vote you in?" And you know, he was like, "I think it's unfair." This is what Jeter's words. I'm paraphrasing here. He's like, "I think it's unfair that I gotta, like, they should, if they the ones who made the vote, they should be the ones answering these questions." I don't know. He said, "I didn't make the vote. You got to ask whoever made that vote why they don't show their face and show their name so they could be asking, answering all these questions." He's like, "Why I have to answer all these questions?" And he was right. He was right. It's just the way it is. I don't like the system, the way they got it, man. Frank says, glad Warren settled down. Couple of plays cost them. I'm glad he settled down, but I mean, the damage was done, bro. Like, that's what I mean. Like, here's my thing, Frank. Because this is why I brought this up earlier, right? Because I saw people saying, well, besides the first inning, he pitched really good. And I'm like, what? Bro, so we just going to ignore the first inning like that never happened and say, yeah, he pitched really good the rest of the game. He did pitch good after that, right? It doesn't matter, though. My man gave up 6 runs in the first inning and gave up 10 hits. He could have pitched. He could have gave up 6 runs the first inning and then pitched a perfect game for the next 8. And I wouldn't care because you gave up 6 runs in the first inning. You know what I mean? Like, and you've done this over and over again in these big games. In the first inning, too. Just like today. It's a pattern now at this point. It tells me that the nerves, the butterflies, whatever it is, it actually gets to him. He did it versus the Dodgers, right? He did it versus the Blue Jays. And this was a thing early in the season, right? They was like, well, you know, he gets into trouble early. If he could get out that first inning, he's all right. And it's happening again. Yeah. Yep. Jay Milliken. I hope I said that right. The Jays are a different team right now. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're not trying to lose, man. They taking it to that next level where that's why I'm like, and look, I'm a diehard Yankees fan, obviously. And I'm telling you right now, I hope the Yankees could catch him. But unless the Blue Jays just really, really fall off and struggle, I'm talking about struggle tremendously, and we go on a tear these next 2 weeks, it's highly, highly unlikely, man. It is very unlikely the Yankees are going to catch them. We got to make up 5 games with 13 games left. I think you start preparing for the wild card at this point. You gotta know when to cut your losses, man. Brandon Lee, I love your name. Bruce Lee's son. Yeah, you're right. Roy says, I want to see Kyle do this next year. I think it's once in a while year for this guy. I don't think he should break Mickey's record. I think he broke it today already. I think he broke it today. Let me see. I hope I'm spelling this right. How much was Mickey's record? 54, right, in a season? He tied it then. Jay Milliken says, Seattle fan here, Judge deserves it. I'm telling you right now, look, and look, my thing is, if Judge didn't deserve it over Kyle Riley, I'd be the first to say. And that's what I said earlier. It's not a knock against Kyle Riley. He's having a great year. He's MVP caliber, right? If there wasn't a Judge. And I said the same thing last year when people were saying, oh, Bobby Witt Jr. should be MVP. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Any other, if Judge wasn't in the American League, then yeah, Bobby Witt Jr. would have been MVP. I think last year was even more closer to Judge. I think Bobby Witt Jr. last year was a more closer than the Kyle Riley Judge thing. The only thing that people are pointing, the only reason why he's getting so much glaze right now is because he's a catcher, right? And we don't usually see catchers do this. But look at that, right? Just look at those numbers. Screenshot it, whatever you want to do. Look at those numbers. And then we're going to look at Judge's numbers. All right? 244 average. Okay, 54 home runs, 115 RBIs. Those are the only 2 stats he has above Judge. OPS 936, stolen bases 14, on base percentage. And don't get me wrong, it's a good numbers. Now look at Judge. This is a whole nother level, bro. I'm telling you. You see what I'm saying, guys? Well, he's 3 shy of stolen bases from. But every category that Kyle Riley leads him is not by very much, right? But the Judge leads him on like the average. He's 100 points, almost 100 points better than him. His on base percentage is almost 100 points better than Kyle Riley's. His OPS is almost 200 points better than Kyle Riley's. You see what I'm saying? It's not even close, and it's gonna. I don't even want to get into because this is a conversation for the off season. But it bothers me because I feel like a lot of these guys are leaning like they want to give it to him really bad. Really, really bad. And I listen to MLB radio every morning and they cannot. They glazing him. The same way they glaze Ohtani, man, sometimes. And I feel like the guy is good, but come on, man. Put some respect on Judge's name. He is having the best season out of any player in the American League. I don't care who it is. And don't get me wrong, a lot of that was the first half of the season. But still, you know, right? You don't judge him for half a season. And you can't even judge him on October. You can only judge, right, when you're considering the MVP regular season performance. That's it. Not what they did in spring training, not what they did in the All-Star game, not what they did in October, not what they did last World Series. It doesn't matter. Just regular season performance. That's what it's supposed to be judged on. And if you judge it like that, Aaron Judge is the MVP. Demon D, what's up, man? I think it's easy to say if so and so had started instead of Warren. Kid has done it. No, don't get me wrong. He's pitched. He's done great for the Yankees this year, right? That I'm not saying. All I'm saying is that when push comes to shove, and the season's on the line, right, and the playoffs, I don't think I want him as the fourth starter or even the fifth starter. He's not in my rotation personally. That's what I'm saying. I don't see how you do it. He hasn't shown me that he can pitch in the big time. Yeah, he hasn't shown that to me yet at all this whole season. I've seen too many implosions by him. But with that being said, too, he's pitched very good for a rookie, right? Who's not even supposed to be in the big leagues right now. I will add that too. Right, the only reason he's in the big leagues is due to injuries, but he wasn't expected to make it up here this year. So, but when I look at a guy like Cam Schlittler, I think Cam Schlittler, even though Cam Schlittler has a lot to work on too, but I think he has more of the goal and I don't know, whatever it is that some people have that they can just show up and pitch in a big situation. I see more of it in Cam Schlittler. And I don't even trust him 100%. That's when people were like, he should start over Luis Hill. I was like, whoa, let's slow down, guy. Cam Schlittler only has 9 starts in the big leagues. Let's slow it down, right? Slow down, okay? Me, I got, look, my top 3 is Fried, Rodon, Luis Hill, right? That's just me anyway. Meanwhile, Tony pitches 40 innings to a 4 ERA, and he wins NL MVP automatically. I know, right? Dude, you know what? Judge should start pitching, right? That's what Judge should do. I mean, he can't right now because his arm, obviously, but that's what he should do. Instead of bringing in Austin Slater or Peraza or Cabrera when they're getting blown out and they need a position player to pitch, they should put in Judge. Just so he could pad his stats and say, look, right? When they look at it, I'm like, damn, Judge pitched 16 innings, right? He gave up 2 earned runs. So, and then, I mean, I don't know, man. And it's nothing against Ohtani because I think he's a great player too. I think Kyle Riley's a really good player. But he's not even nowhere. Not yet, man. If he does this, let him, if he puts up these kind of numbers 3-4 years, then he could be in that conversation. He is not even in the stratosphere though of a Ohtani or Aaron Judge or, you know, guys like that, you know. Not even close. To me personally, if they give Kyle Riley the MVP over Judge, it's a shame, man. At that point, it's like boxing, right? No, boxing. For a long time, I couldn't watch boxing anymore because I've seen too many fights just being not thrown, but just being rigged, right? You look at these judges' scorecards, you're like, what the hell? And I feel like if they do that, man, it's just, you can't take away the integrity of the game. If they do that, it'll be a shame. I'll say that. Yankees will win because Seattle's in first place and they look at his RBI. We don't ever put anybody on for Judge to hit a home run because all we have is home run hitters. Yeah, but my thing is, if he had 150 RBIs, that'd be different. He has 115. Judge has 101. Something like that. Like, it's not that far off. It really isn't that far off at all. And even the home runs, he got what, like 7 more than Judge? It's not like enough of a gap to be like, wow, like this is crazy. His numbers are way better. But when you look at Judge's numbers versus his, like batting average, on base percentage, walks, all the other stuff, man, OPS, even like WRC plus, or all these crazy stats, whatever stat you want to think of, you look at Judge's and you're like, damn, he leaps and bounds above this dude, right? That's why I think you can't just look at home runs and RBIs. My goodness, you know. Alan Evangelista. And Judge has been consistently in the AL MVP race season after season. I highly doubt if Kyle Riley can duplicate his numbers in the next season. Yeah, I mean, look, but the argument is just this season, based on this season alone, right? The 2025 regular season, is Kyle Riley the most valuable player over Aaron Judge? And I would say no. But you know, I'm gonna be honest, until Judge goes off in October, I'm talking about just goes on a tear in the postseason, like Stanton did, or something like that. Until Judge does that, he's never gonna get the respect he deserves, and it's a shame because everybody keeps saying like Ohtani. All right, when has Ohtani gone off, right? Everybody keeps saying Judges. Let's look at Ohtani's October numbers. Has he gone off in October? Right? It's like, oh no, but he was hurt. Oh no. I didn't ask you that, right? I asked you, like, did he go off in October? I'm just saying, man. Judge is gonna have to really, really go on a tear, and even possibly win a World Series, man, for them to finally put respect on his name. Let me see if this works. Oh. I remember Shohei only has one October. This is his October numbers. I mean, it's better than Judge's probably. This is his October numbers. This is his only October. Right? What I'm saying is the standard got to be for everybody, man. And I think that they're going to give Kyle Riley just because he came out of nowhere. He's not supposed to have a year like this. But Judge had a better year, obviously. I mean, the numbers don't lie. Healing men's hearts, even though the Yankees didn't even though the Yankees didn't complete the comeback, I like how they show some grit. They could have rolled. No, you're right. I agree with you, man. And that's what I was saying, that it's unfortunate because they actually fought back, and they actually fought back against arguably the best pitcher in the American League, right? But when your starter gives up 6 runs in the first, man, there's nothing you can really do. It's tough. And he's done this. He did this in Toronto too. He did this versus the Dodgers, right? And he did this in a game in Toronto. I can't remember, like I can't remember all the specifics, right? But he gave up like 6-7 runs in the first 2 innings, and the Yankees managed to fight back, right? They showed grit. They managed to come all the way back and tie it like 8-8, just to give up another 2 runs and lose. But it was at that point, it's like, man, they climbed the freaking Mount Everest to get back into the fight. But the fact that the starting pitcher freaking shit the bed so hard like that is tough. Today's a game, right? Let's say Will Warren doesn't give up that 6-run inning. Let's say it's only 3 runs, right? We win this game. He didn't give us a quality start. And this is my thing when I said, because I was upset. I'm not going to call out nobody's names or nothing like that. And it wasn't even in this chat, but I saw it in another channel, and people were like, well, he pitched good. If you take away that first inning, he pitched really good. And I'm like, yeah, but you can't just take away that first inning, bro. That was 6 runs. 6 freaking runs, dude. That cost us the game. I don't care if he struck out every batter. If he could have struck out every single batter after the first inning, and it wouldn't have mattered because he gave us 6 in the first, and it cost us, That's what I'm saying. That is all I am saying. Well, you trying to bring up George Springer into the MVP conversation, slow burner? I think he'll get some votes. But the numbers are just not all. They're good, really good numbers. Not enough though. But I think I could see George Springer getting a couple votes. He's had a great year compared to last year. He's had a great year. Yeah, but McDavid only has 100 points this year. I know what we're talking about there. It's hard to figure where to use Warren in the postseason. Like you said, he tends to not have good inning in big games. And if in the pen, the first inning would be crucial also. But at least in the pen, I will put him in the pen. I would put him in the pen, and then if let's say you have a starter and your starter gives you a short outing, right? Like he gets knocked out in the first. See, here's the thing, right? You see, today the Yankees just left him in there. They left him in there because they're like, you know what? We're not going to burn our bullpen. Now versus Garrett Crochet. This is a game we probably going to lose anyway. But in the playoffs, you can't afford to do that. If today was a playoff game, Will Warner would have been out in the first inning. You would have had to take him out. And that's where I see a place for Will Warren out the bullpen, you know? If you're, you know, even though we have Yarbrough for that, but if somebody gets in trouble early and you have to pull them, right? You have your starter gets in trouble early and you got to pull him, then you bring in Will Warren and hopefully he can be the substitute teacher, right, for the day or whatever, you know, give you some innings there. I see that could be a role for him, and he's just another arm. You're gonna need him, especially as you go deep into October. You need arms. Yankees for the win, man. You're the most optimistic dude I've ever met, man. Come on, we're gonna lose to Boston. He said, come on, we're gonna lose to Boston. He's not gonna get a shot in 2027. There's going to be a strike, so that is only half a season at best. Yeah, I think there will be a strike. I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't last half a season. But I don't know. I feel like Judge needs to do something. At this point, he got to take matters into his own hands and go off this October. Alan says, love the boxing analogy. Which one? I can't remember. I don't know. What did I say? I'm trying to remember. Oh, well. I'll rewind it later. Jimmy B cards. You know, Jimmy B. Every time I see your name, man, it reminds me of Jimmy Jazz for some reason. I don't know if you know the sneaker store Jimmy Jazz. And Jimmy Jazz right now is everywhere. I see Jimmy Jazz even when I was in South Carolina, all these places. But Jimmy Jazz used to only be in New York, right? I remember they had one in Delancey Street. Yeah, Jimmy Jazz was a New York thing, and they kind of franchised it and went nationwide. But yeah, anyway, man, Jimmy says Judge is easily MVP right now, and the odds right now are minus 1250 for Judge to win on FanDuel. So explain that to me, man. Minus 1250. So that means it's in favor of Kyle Riley. That's what you're saying? Just because he got 7 more home runs? It's crazy. Itchy Nuts, my man, Itchy Nuts. He says Boone going for 3-peat playoff loss. Want Yankees to win, but had enough of him. Tough call. Yeah, man. The thing is, Boone ain't going nowhere. Boone is not going anywhere, man. Unfortunately, because Howe is just not a owner that's present. He's not present at all. The only time I've seen Howe all season, right? We had few rare occurrences of Howe is when the president was there the other day. I'm trying to think. It was another time. It was a ceremony. Was it Paul O'Neill Day? Was that this year, right? I don't know. It was another game this year. It was a ceremony they did, and he was there randomly. That dude he's not present enough. He don't even know. I doubt he really knows what's going on. He probably gets a little brief, right? They probably send him like a little a slide or two, like a 2-slide PowerPoint, just briefing him on everything. And half of that is probably bullshit. The fact that I don't know, he needs to figure it out, man. I'd be surprised if they fire Boone. And that's not saying they shouldn't, because I think they should. If they don't win this year, they should fire him. But they gave him a 2-year extension, and that tells me that they don't care if they win or lose. He's their guy, for at least 2 more years. Yep. Warren's putrid start tonight hurt his chances to make the postseason roster. Yeah, it did. It did. But I still think he makes the roster. Just not the whatchamacallit, the rotation. And I'll be honest, right now, if I'm booing them, right now, I'm like, you know what, Warren? We're gonna try you out the bullpen. For these 2 weeks, right? We're gonna give you some, right? Obviously, he needs his 5 days rest, right? But starting next week, we're gonna play you out the bullpen just to see what you can do out there. See if you can handle it. Get used to it, right? That's what I think they should do. They not. I thought Volpe was gonna start today. He didn't. Will he start tomorrow? Volpe will be back, guys. I'm telling you, man. I have a feeling Volpe will be back. They're gonna give him another chance, even though he had a 3-year tryout. He's had a 3-season tryout. They're gonna give him another shot to take his position back. And I feel like if he does just a little good, they're gonna be like, oh, this is our guy. We knew he could do it, you know? I don't know. Crazy, guys. Baseball's in a good spot right now. Baseball can't afford a strike. There's gonna be one, man. I don't see how there's not. But hopefully not. It could change, but I don't see how there's not, you know? Because not only are the players and the owners are divided, and then the owners are divided within themselves. You know, it's just too much stuff going on. They need to be straightened out. They need to come up with a new CBA, and that's tough. Look, let me tell you something, guys. When it comes to unions and stuff like that, to get a CBA, a collective bargaining agreement, even when I worked like in the post office, even when they used to do it there, it was tough even there, right? We're talking about regular job that's not even Major League Baseball, right? We're talking about the post office or wherever it is. It's always tough to get that done. But they got to get it done. They do. Slow burner. Jays beat Yankees or Boston. I don't know what you're talking about there. H&S says Boone loses in playoffs. Oh yeah, we read that already. What am I doing? Volpe is like Jason in the Friday the 13th movies. He will be back. Volpe, man. I'm gonna tell you, I've seen enough of Caballero to know that he's a better option than Volpe. And that's not saying that there is no spot for Volpe, because there is. And that's like just pinch running if I'm the manager at this point. Especially now, especially after they told us about this injury thing. Now I definitely don't want him out there. I want a guy that's healthy, bro. I don't want a hurt guy. And they put that out there just to make an excuse, because they're gonna throw him back out there next year. Watch. He will be the starting shortstop in April of 2026. Why? I have no idea. At this point, I think that they should. It should be an open position, right? That shit should be on Indeed.com right now. Shortstop for the New York Yankees. Whoever wants it, come take it. Andrew says, Jason, what's up, brother? How long will the Yankees last in the playoffs? I don't know. It depends, man. I'm hoping that they go all the way. I'm hoping they last till November. You know what I mean? Oh, we'll see. The thing with the Yankees are their own worst enemy. They really are. Like they beat themselves half the time. Even today, right? You could say, yeah, they, you know, if we had a better start, right? Well, if Will Warren just doesn't give up 6 runs in the first, man, it's a whole different ball game. And that's just one game, man. They said in the broadcast today, the bullpen has given them so many games. We've blown so many games. Then there's a bunch of games that I feel like Boone blew by just questionable decisions. All the punt lineups, right? Especially early in the season when the Yankees were rocking and rolling. We were 8-9 games in first place. There was a lot of punt lineups, of punt games, right? Especially when, like, you know, in like a third game of a series after we just won the first 2, you best believe Boone was throwing a punt lineup out there. And those games were so important. Now, in hindsight, we see it like, damn, I wish we would have not done that, because we would have been a lot closer, or maybe in first. The Yankees, they're their own worst enemy. I'm telling you. Only one taking Volpe's job would have to be another kid from tri-state area. The only one taking, no, I don't think so. I think that whole thing with Volpe, that was just kind of coincidence and everything. I think that helped him maybe get drafted. I don't know, man. To me, you know, it's nothing against Volpe or anything, but I'm about winning, man. I want the team to win, and right now I feel like we have a better chance of winning without him starting. Right? I'm not saying I want him off the team completely. I think he just shouldn't be the starter right now at all. Yep, I'm an old man. Yankees' weakest link is definitely Boone. I agree with. Damn, I got so caught up in these comments, man, that I forgot I had trivia questions, but at this point, probably too late for all that. Too late for all that. Yeah. We got 23 likes, 43 of y'all in there, man. If you haven't liked and you currently viewing, do me the solid. Like it. For some reason, the algorithm, the all infamous algorithm, it likes when you like the video. And if you don't like the video, it thinks you hate the video. And it would never, ever promote me to your feed or anything ever again. So make sure you like that. I had some trivia. I'm not going to do the trivia today. I probably should have. I should have done it, but it's a little too late for all that right now at this point. I'll be on this for like another 10 minutes. I don't know if you guys watched if you're into football, the Giants versus the Cowboys today. That was another disappointment. The Giants had that game, and Russell Wilson just threw it away at the end. It's a tough one. It was a tough loss. It really was, man. So the Giants are 0-2 to start the season. I mean, I didn't expect them to go anywhere anyway, but I want them to beat the damn Cowboys at least. If we could go, the Giants could go freaking lose every game of the season. As long as we beat the Cowboys, I'm happy. And they couldn't pull it off today. Giants have a decent shot against the Chiefs, 0-2. Oh yeah, right, man. The Giants are gonna get crushed by the Chiefs. The Chiefs are still good. They just happen to freaking. They can't. I mean, the Eagles showed today that they're just a better team, and it wasn't just one game. The World Series, you hear me? The Super Bowl. They beat them again today. So, I'm trying to remember who the Chiefs played the first game. I can't think of it right now. But yeah, and then the Bills destroyed the Jets, which was, I mean, we saw that coming. So, both New York teams right now. New York City teams, because I don't know if you count the Bills as a New York team, but yeah, the Giants and the Jets are both 0-2 right now, so it's not a good start. But what's new, right? We're kind of new. We're kind of whatchamacallit, kind of used to this at this point. We're used to this. Toronto's Bills, right? They should just move them to Toronto. They should. But anyway, folks, that's gonna do it for me. I'm gonna call it. I gotta go to work tomorrow early. I appreciate y'all joining. If you haven't, on your way out, please like the video, hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed. Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Look, we're getting closer. The season is winding down. At this point, you gotta just, try to take it one game at a time, but really, you got to be preparing for a wild card matchup, right? Because that's realistically what's going to happen. But besides that, folks, I hope you have a blessed evening. Take care. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Chalk on the corner, fair game in the air. Aaron's bat sang, but the call wasn't fair. Stripes in the dirt, blind to the truth. Judgment Day ruined, no replay to boost. Robbed on the line, truth in the smoke. Boone in the dugout,
You the real
temper
MVP.
provoked. Hands in the sky, crowds roar choked. Stole the homer, faith in the game broke. Lines don't lie, but the humans do. Green monster grin, but the call askew. Boone stormed out, spit words like fire, till Blue tossed and called him a liar. Robbed on the line, truth in the smoke. Boone in the dugout, temper provoked. Hands in the sky, crowds roar choked. Stole the homer, faith in the game broke. Cleats on the base, game paused and rinse. Judge plays clean, but they stack the fence. Crew in the masks, deaf to respect. Baiting the Bronx, who do they protect? Fair line narrative, curving the truth. Pint glass cheers turn silence in the booth.